Alright, so I'm going to show you a couple tricks for how to do two-point perspective. Two-point perspective works a lot the same way as one-point perspective, except there are two vanishing points on opposite sides of your paper like this. So what we're going to draw is a city corner, and it's going to start out like this. I'm going to bring each line down close to the center like this. So everything that is on my right-hand side will go to my right-hand side vanishing point, and everything on the left-hand side will go to the left-hand side vanishing point. This point down here at the bottom is going to be the building closest to us. So just like in one-point perspective, there are only three types of lines, and I've just drawn them. Vertical lines, lines that go to the right-hand side vanishing point, and lines that go to the left-hand side vanishing point. So the right-hand side of each building will go to the right-hand side vanishing point. So the top roof will go to the right-hand side vanishing point, like this. And then I'm going to make a vertical line. Those are the only other kinds of lines besides lines that go to the vanishing point are vertical. Like that. The left-hand side of the building will go to the left-hand side vanishing point. Like this. And then another vertical line straight down to the bottom of the building. Like that. See, there's our first building on the corner. The next building, I'm going to put it on the right-hand side, and it's going to be slightly shorter and butt right up next to this building. So the rooftop goes to the left-hand side vanishing point here, and then vertical line straight down. Like that. Easy. The next building that I'm going to draw is going to be taller than this one, and I'm going to leave a space between the buildings. So I'm going to do a vertical line like this. And then the left-hand side of the building here is going to have the top of the roof aimed towards the left-hand side vanishing point. Like that. And then I'm going to bring this line perfectly vertical straight down. Like this. Now what I'm left with is just the left-hand side facade. I also have the right-hand side of the building to deal with. So I'm going to take the roof and connect it to the right-hand side vanishing point, since it's the right-hand side of the building, even though it's on the left-hand side of the page. Since it's the right side of the building, it goes to the right side vanishing point. The bottom of the building also needs to be attached, because right now the bottom of the building on the right side is attached to the left side vanishing point right here. So what I need to do is connect that corner to the right-hand side vanishing point as well. Just like that. And then you can do as many buildings as you like. I like to do 7 to 9 is usually good. So there's 3, here's 4, and again, the right-hand side of the buildings go to the right-hand side vanishing point. The left-hand side goes to the left side vanishing point. And then perfectly straight down again. There's 4. Let's see, this next building is also going to be jutted right up next to it. Always remember to go to the right vanishing point. Ask yourself, is this on the right side of the building or the left side of the building? So there we go. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buildings. I'll stop there, but you can go a little bit further with that. So the next thing I'm going to do is build myself a sidewalk. And this is a little bit funny, but let's see if I can do it. I'm connecting the sidewalk straight out this way, like that. And then on the opposite side, I'm going to build the sidewalk up here, like that. Now, every line that you draw on the left-hand side is actually gonna connect to the right-hand side vanishing point. So to make sure that they look like they get smaller, I'm gonna measure the width of the sidewalk square here, put the same one here, and then pull it back just a little, make a mark. And then measure that one, make it here, pull it back, and make a little mark. So each piece, each square that I'm putting down is going to get slightly smaller as it moves into space. And I'm not going to go all the way back for the sake of time, but that gives you sort of an idea of what we're doing here. Like that. So then each one of these marks here that I've made, I'm going to connect that to the opposite vanishing point, this way. And that will make sure that it goes at the right angle. And since I measured it, I know that each square gets just a little bit smaller than the square before it. And that's going to make it look like it's getting smaller as it goes into the distance, as things so often do. Like that. And you do the same thing on the opposite side. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to do windows and doors. If you're doing a high-rise building like this, you're probably going to have some windows on it. So what I'm going to do is give myself some guidelines, just with a pencil here. Like this. So that I know where to draw my lines with my pen. So since this is on the left-hand side of my vanishing point, or of my building, I'm going to make it go to the left-hand side vanishing point. And actually, let's try it from the top down. Let's do it this way to make sure that I'm measuring pretty evenly. Oops. So I'm going to start with the line at the top of the building like this. And I'm going to draw my first windows. Pretty tall, actually. And then I can leave a smaller space between the two. And you'll notice as I move down that the angle of my line actually changes. It's not the same angle the whole way down, because each of those lines goes to the same vanishing point. Maybe they're still angled up just a little. More space. And then here you'll notice once I pass the horizon line, which is where the two vanishing points would meet, the angle actually starts to go down into space like this. Okay, so then I can come back here and connect the pencil lines that I still need. You always want to do the sides as well as the top and bottom using a straight edge. And you always want to make them look like they are in an even row like this. Now they look like they're even. You can erase all my pencil lines. And there are all my windows on that side. And you would do the same thing for a door if you're doing a door on this side as well. So let's put the top of the door just below the windows. This way. And then I'll just connect it with vertical lines this way. That. And we'll do one through the middle. And there we go, doors. Now let's say I want to put some words on a building. The last thing you need to know is how to put words on your building. So I'm going to put these two buildings right next to each other. And I'm going to do top line, and I'm also going to do middle line for that. every time you do words, you want to give yourself a middle line for the word as well as the top line and bottom line, like this. And here's why. If this is going to be an apartment building, I always want all of the letters to feel like they're standing straight up. So any horizontal lines go towards that vanishing point still. Any vertical lines need to stay vertical like this. A, P, A. Parts. So then when I erase my guidelines, that still makes sense there. Now if I were to draw them the way that you'd normally draw on a line like this, see how it sort of runs out of space there? It doesn't really make sense. And then when I stack it up, it looks like these are just gonna fall right off. But those look like they're standing upright. Be creative, make interesting buildings, do whatever you want with those. But the most important thing that you can do is measure and know which side vanishing point you need to go to next.